Technology has always been a very important part of our education for both business and accounting students. In fact, since many years ago, we've been providing students with at least 1 to 2 courses of training in technology. Right now, we're introducing a third course, and in this case, we're going to teach them about programming for analytics. So as you know, there's a lot of emphasis in the industry right now for giving our students data analytics skills. So data analysis is very important, not just for accountancy students, but also for business students. So we are introducing a brand new course called Programming for Analytics. In this course, there are a few objectives. First of all, we want to make sure that we equip students with the skills to do automated and repeatable data analysis. So this means we need to provide them with the data management tools and skills so that they will know how to deal with both structured data as well as unstructured data. Another reason why we want to introduce programming into our curriculum is to give students a computational thinking education, so that we can educate them and teach them about what is computational thinking and what is the logical processes underlying this. Of course, associated with that, we have to teach them about the programming environment and the syntax. And it's not that we want to train our business students to become software developers, but we want to give them the skills so that they can communicate effectively with folks who are doing the hardcore programming on a day-to-day basis. And also that they can identify what are some of the key opportunities and how to deal with programmers as and when the need arises. And thirdly, in this particular course, because we are teaching them programming for analytics, we also try to teach them how they can use certain freely available and very popular tools right now, like Python and R, for example, teaching them to use these tools so that they can apply that to do things like visualization, so that they can actively and have this ability to use the data and manage the data and also present the data in ways that are effective for them to communicate with the relevant stakeholders. So this is the key objectives of the course that the new course that we are providing. In addition, we are also revamping several of our current courses. All along, we have been providing this course on Introduction to Information Technology to all our business and accountancy students. But we also recognize that there is a need to actually revamp and update this content in order for us to discuss some of the latest technologies like artificial intelligence, like blockchain, like IoT, for example. So in this particular course, what we do is we introduce students to what are the fundamental elements of these various technologies, and more importantly, to educate them so that they know about what are some of the business opportunities that are possible when you use some of these technologies effectively. And also, we need to discuss issues related to what are some of the implications, societal implications, ethical implications, implications to the individuals, as well as what are some of the key challenges when it comes to using these technologies. So in addition to that, we also want to use this course to teach them a little bit on what are some of the key and critical IT skills that is needed for them to effectively do their work. So this could include things like teaching them about Excel, teaching them about data visualization tools. In addition, we actually have an additional course that we provide to our accountancy students. And in this particular course, we equip our accounting students with the key skills to do their accounting work so that they can hit the ground running when they enter into a big MNC or a small SME. Because nowadays, when you do accounting, you no longer do your debits and credits manually. You basically use something like the ERP system, the Enterprise Resource Planning System, or an accounting package to help you to do that. So in this particular course, we teach our accounting students how to do accounting and how to get the relevant data from these accounting systems using industry standard packages like SAP and all the other smaller packages that they get exposed to. So I also want to highlight that in terms of the analytics training, all our business and accountancy students also take one more course, which is the statistics course. So this statistics course gives them the fundamentals in terms of understanding when you apply different statistical models. Like for example, when you apply things like logistic regression or time series analysis, and this contributes to the whole package of analytics training that NBS provides to all our accountancy and business students. So if you think about it, all along we have been providing at least 2 to 3 courses in this area, and recently we have beefed up this offering by updating our content as well as offering another new course on programming for analytics.
I started off my career as an auditor 15 years ago, and I'm a very proud graduate of NBS, the 2004 batch. KPMG is a multidisciplinary firm. We pride ourselves in delivering quality service to all our clients across the audit, tax and advisory spectrums. Quite a number of people out there think that we are just a mere accounting firm. We are actually a lot more than that, and we provide services across various fields in what we do in delivering value to our clients. I think in the university graduates, other than NBS as well as the other universities, what we look out for is firstly an inquisitive mind. We always believe that having an inquisitive mind is a very important fundamental feature for every applicant to have. Technical ability is also an important aspect of the applicant. I think the more important and the most key thing that any applicant or any graduate should have is an open mind. Because as you can probably see from the newspaper headlines these days, change is afoot, change is everywhere. We are in a very dynamic business world today. So having the ability to unlearn and relearn things is a very key attribute that we look for in graduates. The large majority of our graduates join KPMG and they start off in the audit function. Quite a number of them go to tax, and some of them go into consulting or in advisory. So the large proportion of our graduates move into the audit field. They gain 2 to 3 years worth of on-the-field experience, and thereafter take the SQP as well as qualify as a chartered accountant after 3 years of postgraduate experience. So thereafter, what they do is that they actually move on to other specific functional roles within KPMG or other fields that they may feel where their interests lie. I'd like to use an analogy. So I do not know how many of you are movie buffs out there. I'm a big Tom Cruise fan, and I remember the movie that he starred in called The Edge of Tomorrow. So the movie talks about this soldier who actually wears a very powerful exoskeleton that helps him deal with the alien enemies of the world in that movie. It's no different from us accountants. So what we have is the very basic core knowledge and fundamentals that we have when we graduate from university, and what we do is to layer on that machinery like the AI, the data analytics and the information technology tools that we have today to equip us to be a better accountant of the future. And also, how has the role changed? I think now we're starting to see clients demanding more insights, demanding greater coverage, demanding fresh perspectives. So when I started off 15 years ago, we used to audit large entities with armies of assistants taking and bashing away. So that part of the work has sort of become mechanized. And what this means is that the auditor or the accountant of the future will need to actually take on a lot more analytical role, a lot more client-facing. So for example, soft skills are still relevant today, and that is something that the machine can never replace, because at the end of the day, our clients still want a human face to deal with, regardless of how great the machinery is. So I think the fears are there, but it is something that we can overcome, and I believe that the profession is and resilient enough to withstand these threats in order to ride the wave. The perspective of what an accountant is must change. So gone are the days when our parents' time where they used to have many armies of bookkeepers, accountants who just post journal entries. Those are low-lying fruits. Those will be expected to be taken on by machines. So what needs to happen is that the accountant of tomorrow will need to become a lot more business-minded. He will need to be exposed to a lot more different fields and disciplines outside his technical training, because the business world is changing. We are dealing with sustainability reporting, we're dealing with carbon pricing, we're dealing with fake news, we're dealing with cybersecurity. So these are all fields that exist on the peripheral abilities of what an accountant has. So the accountant would still be around, but to remain relevant, he must change. And at KPMG, we're very well prepared for that change. I think a very important thing is to have an open mind, always have an inquisitiveness to learn. I think the best way I see it are through my kids. So I have 2 kids, 9 and 7 years old. And I can tell you, kids have the best minds because they are open all the time, very flexible. In fact, I'm actually teaching myself how to use coding along with my kids using Lego sets. So these are the kind of things that we probably will need to continuously do, unlearn and relearn and pick up new skills all the time. Because if we stay still, we will become irrelevant. Yes, I would. I remember in 2004, I was one of the first few beneficiaries of Project Discovery that NTU rolled out. What happened during those days were, applications of case studies, different ways of learning. And I would do it all again, but with a twist. I think I would do it with a data analytical twist, because that would actually equip me to deal with the demands of the future. Clients require more insights. Businesses require more views, more perspectives. So with data analytics, that helps me to shed a different light and also cast a different view towards helping businesses grow. So I think that really is and will be the direction of the accountant of the future.